Recording on a Friday, recording on a Friday. That's how we do it in this house.
Your jingles are getting more and more intricate. I like it.
Yeah. Just very, very specific jingle.
Very specific.
Mm.
I had a fear that it might wander into some like copyright territory there, but you stayed away from that.
Yeah, it's the 5th of October.
No questions about front seats or back seats, where you're going to ride.
She's over 18 now. I can make backseat references about her, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure she was over 18 when issue was a thing.
No, she was 13 when she recorded it.
Holy balls.
Yeah.
What?
And that's well over 5 years ago now, isn't it? So, ho. Well, Rebecca Black. How about I turn you into Rebecca White?
Pretty sure that's not how that works.
Yeah. Okay then. Okay. So it's been several hot minutes.
Indeed.
Since last we talked, hence me, putting out a quote-unquote classic episode.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Which was the, when I put it up and I re-listened to it after it had downloaded on my player, I was like, oh, what did we talk? I remember we did movies, and then the next thing I know, the intro just going, open wide, here comes the fruit! And
got a message from you after you'd uploaded it. Just, I swear you must have been giggling as you were typing the message out.
Because I wasn't prepared for it. I was just listening to it.
Nobody's prepared for that.
Yeah, I think I was cutting onions or something. I was making some form of food. And I just went, oh,
Mrs.
God.
calls from the other room going, what happened to you?
What's so funny? Us. No, you're not. Don't be stupid. Oh, dear. Oh, it made me laugh again. It made me tear up, just the thought of that. Jesus Christ.
Quote-unquote classic episodes. Well, there's a few of them in the back. Oh, do you know what I saw on some tech website this week? Spotify are opening up their podcast system for anybody. So we could be on Spotify next.
Oh.
If you want. We could have a Spotify Neanderthals playlist.
Oh, good God. That's, much power.
Such enticement.
I'm going to leave that research up to you, because Spotify scares me.
It scares you? Why?
I never got along with it. I remember years ago when it sort of first started, when people were getting into it, I was like, oh, no, I don't like this. It's scary to me.
It's so intimidating.
Yeah, I just never got into the Spotify world. Mainly because I would never be willing to pay for it, and I don't like the adverts that come in between.
Yeah. Well, they have to make their money somehow, I suppose.
Definitely. That's how those artists get a penny every 3,000 plays or so. So we could be making that kind of money. No.
Yeah, all we have to do is get a couple thousand listens, and we can make 50p.
Yeah, I mean,
50 whole pence.
Let's have a look. So, combined... What are we on? Combined Podbean and Apple, I believe, anyway. 326 since... When was it? January? So January time last year?
Views, or...?
That's just the MP3 downloads. Jesus Christ! The podcast.
Welcome
downloads.
to 2007.
Yeah, hot dog. Oh, an MP3. What is this?
You've been downloading MP3s.
Yeah,
so
we've been.
That's how many people have downloaded. That's how. You don't need Pirate Bay to download us. We're freely put it about.
Yeah, I will physically bring you.
Look, if you're that desperate, just give us a call and we'll come around your house. We'll do an episode live in your front room. Don't even need to pay us. Just say hello.
That number is the total of downloads from Podbean and Apple podcasts. I think it includes Apple Podcasts anyway. And that's since I paid for it last January or whenever it was I did it. So since then, that's how many times we have been downloaded. That's how many times I have forced people on Twitter by going, you could try us. We're really trying to be funny. We're available on all these platforms. Please download us.
I feel used.
Yeah, you should. You should.
I kind of like it.
That's why you always remind me of a used condom.
I feel like a used condom doesn't like being a used condom. Come on, at that point, it's wet all over. It's feeling droopy and tired. It's just like, no, I don't like my existence right now. Whereas me, I'm happy to be used and downloaded by anybody from the internet.
You are the exact opposite of Jennifer Lawrence.
That's almost exactly right in every respect.
If only opposites really attracted, eh?
Well, we've never met, so you don't know. At least I don't think we've ever met.
Who knows?
Well, actually, I know. I know that we haven't ever met.
She could have been She could have been there at the Leeds Centre of Performing Arts or wherever it was you frequented as a thespian. She could have popped in and just been like, "Oh, what am I going to find in here? Maybe it'll be something that'll really pique my interest." And there was just you at the front.
Your Jennifer Lawrence impression is on point.
Yeah, thank you. You were there, head of the stage, giving it the old oration.
Girls do love a good oration.
I've been saying a lot of middle class things recently. I know, right? But I've just found it, for some reason, I just found it really hard to find common words for things.
Have you upped your eloquence?
Not intentionally. I think my brain is just kind of going, you've been slacking. So I've just been saying things like bon mot, trepidation. I wrote the word trepidation in an email to some other person at work, and I was like, oh, wow, I am such a dick.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
One of them things, innit?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Speaking as a fellow middle classer.
Speaking as a fellow middle class dick.
I may ruminate upon your eloquence. However, I recover absolutely naught.
So it's been, as you said earlier, a little while. We've both managed to have some time off from work. How was your treks around? I mean, the UK.
Ooh, well, so I did a 31. I became a new age.
You did indeed. Well done for surviving.
I know, right? That's 31 years not out. That's pretty good. Like, you know, I'm doing okay.
Doing all right, yeah.
Okay, I'm 31. I have a poorly listened to podcast. I have my own comedy night. I sharing quizzing duties with yourself. It's who could possibly? Oh, I work at a call centre. What 31-year-old could possibly want more? Impossible to want more, I say. But yeah, after mein Geburtstag, as the old Deutsche lot may call it.
All right.
I sojourned.
You really are up in your white middle class eloquence, aren't you?
Indeed. And by sojourned, I mean spent about 8 hours driving down to Cornwall. Because going down with wife and dog.
Phrasing.
Indeed. There was necessities for bathroom and walking breaks.
Of course.
And that was just to stretch my old 31-year-old legs.
Your creaking limbs.
Oh, I'm so old now. Oh, I can spend no longer than 3 hours in a stationary position.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was very nice, but we were getting the back end of the... what was that hurricane? Irma? Was that?
I don't know. There were a couple of storms, weren't there? Yeah. Around the time, yeah.
We were getting the back end of that hurricane that was from the old Flow Rider.
Oh, I'm sorry. There must be some joke about getting the gusty back end of a American storm. I don't know. There's a joke there somewhere.
We're both very tired though, so
yeah, it's been a long ass week.
Providing this isn't edited out.
Yeah. Listeners, you figure it out on your own.
Yeah, what we do, we facilitate your ability to make your own jokes.
Just fill in the blanks. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's one of those choose your own joke adventure podcasts. That's what it is.
I'll
give you the situation, the
56.
Setup. Yeah. Skip to minute 14 if you want to have the loquacious ending of this joke. If you wish for the risque ending, skip to minute 15.
Oh man! Oh, that's a whole
that's right.
Segment
loquacious.
Wonderful. So we went.
So were you getting blown about?
We were very much blown about. We went to Tintagel, the castle where King Arthur was supposedly born and lived, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the actual there's kind of a walkway to get there because it's effectively on an outcropping, but they physically had to close that down because there's no kind of barriers or anything. So there's parts of the castle that are very open from wearing away, and there was just a risk that people would just get blown off the edge.
Freezing.
So indeed.
You can't risk that in Cornwall. It's a family getaway.
Exactly. Dog friendly, no blowing, is what it says on the signs.
That's absolutely amazing.
And after that, came back to work for a little bit. Boo, sad. But then I got to go to. There's a big centre in Edinburgh for where I work, and they did a hackathon.
Right. So you went to a hackathon as part of work?
Indeed, because their goal was to effectively create something new based around either everyday banking, short-term lending, or home borrowing, some kind of phrase such as that. Basically mortgages. Basically, how can we make lots of money off of people or serve people better? And I got up because what you had to do is there were big bosses there, and if you wanted to, you could pitch an idea. And so you'd put it out to a room, and if people liked your idea, they would come to you and you would form a team. And naturally, doing stand-up comedy, I was like, well, there's a microphone and 60 seconds going spare.
Did you figure like this was a chance to test some new material, or
I just thought,
it's a captive audience, really?
Oh, I've not done a gig in a week. Oh, let's flex my muscle again. There we go.
Your singular muscle.
Yeah. I literally opened this up to a room full. It was so there were three kinds of invitees. There was people from internally within the bank. There was people external from the bank. So people who thought they could do or come in and try and make things. And then there was a mix of developers, and I think they were down as creatives. So effectively, people who could code and people who could design,
right?
Like that subcategory.
So the reason I was a little surprised that you said you went to a hackathon is I don't think. I mean, I could be completely wrong. Do you have much development experience?
Now, this is the thing. This is what they wanted. The intention was that really what they would get is sort of a mix of developers, creatives, and more frontline members of staff.
Right,
At the event, there was about 200 people. Guess how many frontline members of staff there were, including me? Three? Lower.
Okay, so so not very many then.
There was two. There was me and another person from my team who went.
Right. Okay. So I guess the idea then was that the frontline staff would be the people who bring the idea, what we want. Like, this is how we want things to work.
Yeah, this is
the other people there to like make it happen.
Yeah, these are common problems. This is what customers say to us. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Instead, what you got was a bunch of people getting up on a stage saying, "Oh, I want this to be like Monzo. I want this to be like Starling Bank. I want this to be like this thing that already exists."
Right.
And it's just like, oh, you little millennial pricks. Because a lot of them as well were, the developer side of stuff anyway, was either students or graduates.
Yeah, so you get the impression of the young, not Silicon Valley. Is there a British equivalent to Silicon Valley?
The coal hole?
The coal hole.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. But yeah, there were so many young people. It really grinded my gears, so it did.
Okay, so you got up.
I got up.
You got on the mic and you rocked it with...
The very first thing I said was, I knew I had to say it. I was like, I've got a microphone. I need to try and say this once in my life. I got up on the stage, I grabbed that microphone, and I said, "Hello, Cleveland!" And about half the room laughed.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't mean to sound like I'm going to mansplain or anything, but do you understand that reference? I'm sure you do.
I just thought you were naming some random city.
No? Oh, God damn it. Jesus. So what I found out, because I didn't just work on this thing, because I was essentially just an ideas guy, and there's some bits I was no good at. So I would go around the room, and I'd be like, a lot of people basically remembered my pitch. I will go into it a little bit more, but a lot of people remember me because, essentially, probably because I do the stand-up, I just go up there and I did about 55 seconds really easily, and it was very clearly like an applicable skill. I was very impressed with myself.
I do say so myself.
Yeah. There was one who I remember who went on about second, and she just literally grabbed the microphone, stood, did not move, and was like, "My name's Lorna, I'm from business, this is what I want to do, this is what it will improve, I want to help in short-term borrowing, I need a developer and 2 creatives and 2 people from the back, goodbye." And I was just like, wow, I know I can't be the worst person. That's it, that is the baseline.
No, maybe you can't be the worst, presented person. You could still be the worst person, though.
Oh, well, I'm always... in any given room,
do that.
I am the worst person. That's an unquestionable fact. So I did the Hello Cleveland, and then later on, I kind of canvassed around, and I would literally say, "Oh, I did the thing. Can I just ask, the Hello Cleveland thing, were you one of the people that laughed at that?" I know, most of them, because they're younger, they didn't get it. And then the people that laughed, I found that half of them laughed. They're just like, "Well, we're not in Cleveland, are we? We're in Edinburgh." And then the other half went, "Well, yeah, it's a Spinal Tap reference." I was like, "Okay, you 25%. You're my guys." I did about one other joke, which was, I need literally anybody because I'm in way over my head. And that got the best reaction. I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm killing it right now.
2 laughs within a minute. You're doing pretty good there, man.
That's a good average. Laugh every 30 seconds. Well, less. I did 55 seconds up there. Yeah. Laugh sub 30 seconds. That's pretty.
And I've heard how long some of your jokes can go on for. So that's actually that's a really good ratio you got going there.
Oh, I remember when this podcast was mutually supportive. Okay.
Hey, I support the longer joke format. I've said it before. You're not the kind to do the set up punchlines. But you're more of a storytelling there. Yeah,
I'm not punchy. So the minute thing, I was like, I've got a very few punchy things, but I think I know what I can say. But my pitch to the people was that basically based around getting older people online, because that's what all banks want to do. They want to get the old people doing online banking because they don't want branches, because they want to close them all down. Who wants branches? Costs way too much. So,
is this the idea that you mentioned?
I put it better than this.
Okay,
cool. I was not just like, old people are shit. Let's get them online. I hate branches. Oh, I'm glad we're closing them.
Right, okay. Carry on.
So, I basically put it to the room that what I would like to create is an online service and an app which was effectively bespoke, because a lot of older people are either confused or worried about online banking. So, essentially, having an online banking where you can say, I want to do this, and can physically choose what you do. So, if you thought that, you were afraid that someone might hack in and get you, move your money, you can choose to not have the option to move money. So you can just say, all I want to do online is view my statements and what's coming in and out. That's it. That's all I want to do. And then if they wanted to do anything else, they'd have to go through security.
Okay, so just pick your services.
Exactly. So you can simplify it, and you can also kind of show them how secure it is, because it's like, hey, you don't want to make a payment, you won't have that option. You will not be allowed. If you want to have that, you'll have to manually put it in, going through extra security later. I worded it much better than that. I'm far more charismatically, because I was on then, but I can freewheel here.
Yeah, he had an audience of 199 other people.
Exactly. But it really got a lot of. I found it really hard to get a developer, because developers all just clustered together and your idea, and wanted to just work together in their own little cloisters. But the actual kind of higher ups in the bank really liked the idea, because that is kind of their goal. They know that 18-year-olds are going to do the app. They're going to do online banking. They're not worried about them. They want to get the old people online. But yeah, you could definitely tell attitudes towards, effectively, old people. That's not a very sexy market, is it?
Right, I see.
Monzo sexy, hey.
Yeah. Well, you want to work for Monzo, go and work for Monzo then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I got a team, and we did make like a very crude app prototype, which also included we basically got a developer on board by incorporating their idea, which was voice recognition for the app. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
We created. He created. We G'd him along, and the creative developed what it looked like. So yeah, he created a thing. Obviously, it was just you could literally tap a screen and it'd pre-fill it, but it shows someone selecting things, selecting that they wanted to do certain things, didn't want to do others. Go through to your main page, tap on the voice control option, and say, "I've lost my debit card," and it'd report your debit card as being lost. And unfortunately, we did not get past the first round, but I'm claiming bias, so
Okay, so are they actually? Was the idea of the hackathon that they were going to take some ideas and actually fully develop them and try and implement them?
Yeah, so the winners won Amazon vouchers and stuff, and they would also have their ideas put forward to the actual creative teams if they weren't already part of the bank.
Okay.
In order to be kind of looked into and worked on and see whether it is actually a viable sort of product as well. But essentially what I've done is I've just circumvented the whole process, because the day that I got back, I was back to my normal job role, but I had someone from something like change in implementation sat with me, and I started talking to her about it, and then I've just started emailing her saying I'm really keen on getting this kind of see if we can do anything with this. What do you think? How do we go about it? So I'm going around the whole process. I will take what I want. I will help you, old people. I will force you into the online world.
I will get those grannies online.
In more ways than one.
More ways than one.
So yeah, that was my what was that? That was my September 18th up to October 1st. That was my 2 weeks basically. How about you? What you do in that same timescale or similar?
Well, in a similar timescale, I went on holiday also, and I went the opposite direction to you. I went to Scotland.
Yeah.
So I think actually
up where I went down.
Yeah. So between us, we're the perfect team, apparently. No. That's it's the name of a drinking game. Don't worry, it's not a.
Yeah, we just really like beer. Stop it. We really like beer.
It. I like beer. I like beer. Oh, no, we're not comparing ourselves to that hemorrhoid of a person. I mean, we're pretty bad people, but we're not that bad. I was in Dumfries, which I didn't know before I went there, but has a very strong connection to Robert Burns, in that he lived there for a long while and is buried there.
Yeah.
So I had quite a literary, historical kind of about 4 or 5 days. We wandered around the old town of Dumfries, saw some old sites, the old Burns house, places that he visited. He was apparently quite a drinker. So yeah, it was quite fun.
A man of Scotland who enjoyed alcohol? I've never heard the like.
Unheard of, isn't it? Unheard of. It was very, very relaxing to not be in my usual circumstances, to be away from the worries of Leeds, the fast-paced metropolis that it is.
Away from the go, go, go of Yorkshire.
Aye, yeah. The hectic pace of life. Yeah. I've been thinking recently quite a bit about work and whether or not I want to stay there.
Oh, man! Yeah. You finally got that point. Wow.
Oh no, I've been there a few times before.
Well,
but this time it's hitting a little bit harder.
Okay.
Did I tell you that I had to do some interviews?
No, as in like, so you've been interviewing other people.
I was conducting interviews, which I didn't want to. So a couple of our management team have moved on recently, and it was about time for us to jolly well replace them, or at least try. Mm-hmm. And one of the other members of our current team volunteered herself and then me to do the interviews. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to interview people? That sounds boring and awful.
This is horrible. No, I never like doing this.
No. And then I was like, okay, but it's a day out of work, so don't have to show up to work. The other really frustrating thing was that we were both going on holiday basically immediately after. So the deadline for applications was on the Friday. We had to set the interviews to be done on the Sunday and the Monday. And then she was on holiday on Tuesday. I was like, okay, so we've got literally zero time to decide. Thanks for volunteering us for this. This sounds fantastic. And then I was on holiday from the following Friday.
Yeah.
So did the interviews, passed it over to our actual manager and assistant manager. There's like, here you go. Here are the people. You train them. I'm going on holiday for a week. Bye.
Sucks to be you, losers.
Sucks to be you, losers. Not only do you have to put up with not me for a week, you've got to train 2 new people. Guarantee it's not going to be as good. So yeah, that was fun. And then coming back to the retail world, I was a bit like, I do not. I'm.
No more.
See, I'm trying to balance my complacency with like a personal issue of effort. That's a weird way of putting it. Firstly, the job is, I've been doing it for so long, I'm just really comfortable there. I can do it half dead, and I have done it before, very due to consumption of products or otherwise. But then I also kind of have a philosophy of, well, I've got the job, I might as well make an effort to do well in it, you know? Yeah. So yeah, trying to balance those two things of, is it worth me putting in the effort and then wanting to put in an effort even if it doesn't get rewarded? It just feels a bit shit when it isn't. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way about their jobs, you know? Half the time the effort isn't even worth it, is it?
Nah.
But sometimes you get to go to Edinburgh.
Yeah, sometimes you get to not be in work, but still technically doing work and getting paid for it. And that becomes tolerable. No, I don't even. Literally the first day back, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be... Oh, no, first minute of being on call, I hate everything about this still. Yes. Work. If it was any good, it wouldn't be called work. It'd be called happy joy time.
I think that's an innuendo for something else, isn't it?
Like drinking?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm never grossly upset when I'm drunk. I'm always very happy.
Yeah, I'm never grossly upset. I'm very attractively upset.
I'm a happy crier.
I'm a happy crier. Yeah. I look fantastic when I've been sobbing and drinking. The red eyes and the snot pouring out my nose. Oh, I tell you.
Oh my God, he's beautiful. Look at him.
The number of times that's happened to me, it's fantastic. So yeah, that put a bit of a down on the whole thing. On the plus side, though, work isn't everything. There are other things we can do, like, I don't know, host music-based quizzes.
Good God, music-based quizzes? Those sound fantastic.
Wouldn't that be a fun thing to attend?
Oh, it'd be... well, that's what some people thought. Until they left halfway through. Do you know what those...
To be fair, in their defence, they weren't even going to stay for the first half.
2 of those same women came to the last comedy night as well, and at the halfway point, they fucked off again.
Oh.
So, I am no friend of those older ladies. So the Neanderthals is, as we are trying to meander into, we
Slowly.
now do comedy-based quizzes as well. We are
Neanderthals on
available.
tour!
Yeah, we are available for hire.
Mm.
The
Or lower.
The general consensus was that probably a B to B minus grade overall. Are we saying?
Yeah, there's room for improvement, I think.
For a first attempt, pretty gosh darn good. I would say.
Yeah, pretty good. From my point of view, from basically with very little preparation and improvising the entire thing, I think it went very well. Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, you're from that world. You can improv on your feet, and I'm trying to develop that skill.
Well, this is it. You're developing that skill, whereas, yeah, maybe I've done it before, but I do prefer having a script. It's kind of nice to have something to fall back on.
Well, for the next one, November 28th, guys.
Sorry, November the 28th. What's happening on November 28th?
Why? Would it perhaps be something known as Shooting Bars, a music-based comedy quiz?
Hosted by yours truly, the Meanderthals.
Oh, good grief. And where might it be?
That would be at our friend's bar in Halifax. It's called the Stodfold Bar.
Why, that sounds like it would be a delightful place to both drink and also partake in a quiz where you can win more drink!
And not only that, you'll be helping out a local charity.
Charity, booze, and comedy.
What a trifecta. You got there just before me on that word. We should have when we get 50 regular listeners, we should have like a Neanderthals podcast bingo cards, and then we could, and each square, like 4x4 square, can be some snooty white middle class toss word or something. Trifecta, loquaciousness, vocabulary.
First one to take a picture and send it in wins a gooseberry.
So yes, second quiz upcoming. I'm glad that we got invited back to do another one.
Yes, that was when I was like, so the next one in October maybe, and it was met with quite stony silence. And uh-oh.
I'm kind of glad it's not in October. I've got a lot of shit going on.
Oh, fair enough.
So I'm happy that it's in November instead.
What could you possibly be doing in October? Nothing happens in October apart from Halloween.